Which famous movie franchise is pretty much dead? What rare statistic are you a part of? The last thing you Googled is what kills you. So how do you die? I died trying to find out how to spell rhubarb. Is that how you spell it? I don't know. Maybe? I don't know. Oppenheimer. And I'm taking half of my state with me. How much is Disney Plus costs? It turns out too much. Apparently, it will cost you your life. Ugh, these streaming prices these days are just outrageous. Roasted vegetable pasta primavera. I will be extremely cautious making dinner tonight. Bob Newhart. Not sure how he'd kill me, but if I died laughing, I guess that's a fine way to go. Can you cook fish in a dishwasher? So I guess not thoroughly. Paper cuts, I guess. Gruesome. Oh god, yeah, no, death by paper cuts just, I don't like the image of that. Lab-grown meat. I'm getting Dead Space vibes from this one. You should probably be ready. Why does my anus sting? Well, it's because it's killing you, I guess is the answer. Reddit is apparently going to kill me. I feel like Reddit has killed quite a few people in the past. Which famous movie franchise is pretty much dead? They made a big deal about 2017 The Mummy movie starting the Dark Universe. I don't know if that counts as famous though. It was supposed to be using Universal's classic movie monsters, and those are famous. Oh, that actually could have been kinda interesting. It just sucks that, it failed. Pirates of the Caribbean. It's best to let sleeping dogs lie. I don't think we should try again with this one. We had it perfect after 3. Home Alone. The first 2 movies were the best. I cannot believe they tried making a new one and you're supposed to like the kid, but he's just evil. Zorro. I really hope they make more with Antonio Banderas as an old man and a new younger Zorro. That actually could be interesting. I'm not like a fan of Zorro originally, but I could see that working. Friday the 13th. Been tied up with messy rights issues for years. Oh, I never even thought about like the legality of using a certain property, so that makes sense why I haven't seen one in a while. I hate the whole franchise concept. I hope we see an era of cinema where not every film is turned into some 5-part, multiverse, phased pseudo-cinema TV show hybrid. I have a renewed appreciation for films like The Fifth Element. It's an original movie, not based on anything. It was really popular, and then we all moved on. Nothing else. I actually understand this a lot. It kind of rings true for me, but not as mean as I read it. Jurassic Park. I think the biggest problem with Jurassic Park is that they kept it in the same universe as the original Jurassic Park, and it's like, why on God's green earth would we do that again? Fast and the Furious. Please make it stop. You can't stop, family. We can let Fast and the Furious go. We don't need it anymore as a society, I don't think. You get pushed into 2030 for 10 minutes and you get one Google search. What you looking for? The history of the 2020s. Smart option. It's kind of an all-encompassing question. Reddit. You go back in time to 2023. What would you do? That one would be good, but it's only for the 1 year. I doubt a lot of people would be saying stuff that encompasses that 7-year gap. Has George R.R. Martin finished the series? Oh, buddy, you just wasted a Google search. We all know he's never gonna finish it. Looking up obituaries for terrible public figures, CEOs, politicians, hate group leaders, etc. Then, upon returning anonymously, creating a widely announced Death Note scenario where one of the tracked individuals has their death announced a day in advance for their heinous behavior. At first, it's a hoax, a joke, or several lucky guesses. But after enough accurate predictions, the doubts begin to creep in. The influential sleazes of the world begin to clean up their acts due to a quasi-mystical, unavoidable, and all-knowing threat of imminent doom. I don't know how useful this would be other than just entertaining, because honestly, I'd probably do the same. 2024 March Madness Bracket. Warren Buffett has a standing $1 billion offer to whoever gets a perfect bracket. When in doubt with time travel, just go to sports betting. It's easy. Am I pregnant? How to know if pregnant? 38 plus 2 weeks pregnant? Well, hang on, they might be onto something. In 2030, we might have had a breakthrough to figure out exactly how pregnant we are. Lottery numbers 2023. Lottery numbers 2023 through 2030. Fixed it for you. See, now they actually get it. Instead of only getting the lottery numbers for the year that you're going to be sent back to, you can have the lottery numbers for every year after that. 10 minutes for one Google search? I will search why the internet is so slow. 404 www.google.com cannot be found. That's eerily unsettling. Well, with that solar flare coming in to destroy the internet soon-ish, maybe Google won't be around in 2030. We don't know. 10 minutes is a long time. I may only get one Google search, but I'll DuckDuckGo the shit out of the rest of that time. Same, LOL. My first thing would be downloading an ad blocker. You're technically breaking the rules of the question, but they didn't specify you can't use other search engines, so I guess you're fine. Probably look for my obituary. If I die of cancer, then I will know to keep a lookout. Get an early start on that stuff. Catching it early is half the battle. How do I use the shells?
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
Oh god, I hope this isn't something I need to know about. What are the most positive things happening in the world right now that people don't think of? It's so easy to repopulate the earth of rare plants now through tissue culture. 2 years ago, Brazil was freaking out trying to keep their last remaining Spiritus Sancti plants to themselves, and today, anyone can have them in their house, and there is no market for poachers. A malaria vaccine has been developed and is currently undergoing human trials. This could save hundreds of thousands of lives a year, many of them children. Where are the headlines for this? Why am I learning this on Reddit? Pandas are no longer an endangered species. Actually, amazing news. I had no idea about this. This guy honked at me for not going on green light fast enough, then caught up to me at the next light, rolled down his window and apologized for having a bad day, and then drove off and waved. Also, interest in sustainable housing is growing all the time. Things like earth ships and rammed earth houses are gaining ground slowly. Can't say I know what a rammed earth house is, but I'm glad that the driver came back and said sorry. For the first time in decades, there have been Iberian lynx sightings in the region of Madrid. 2 sightings in the last week. Huge news as this species is among the most endangered animals in the world. More people than ever before have access to clean drinking water and basic sanitation, which is saving thousands of lives. Honeybees are at an all-time high and are now considered overpopulated. The whole save the bees was never made for honeybees, but instead other species such as the mining bees. My very old cat got her blood work done today and everything seems to be great. That is nice. I'm glad for you. What's a secret you'll never tell your spouse or significant other? You can't trick me. I know they're gonna come back and read this. Her mother was interfering in our marriage constantly. I had an appointment with a lawyer to talk over options for divorce because I couldn't stand it anymore. Then her mother died suddenly. Heart attack. After the funeral, things got better. And here we are now, married for 3 decades. She doesn't need to know. Heart attack. It is awfully convenient that she suddenly passed from a heart attack. That I left the Nintendo Switch you gifted me on a bus. The Switch that you see me using is a replacement that I bought on eBay. It's okay. They'll never notice the Switch. I see what you did there. Oh, you clever little rascal. Remember when we were engaged and visited your mom in the hospital and she left a fart so rank that your eyes watered and we still talk about it 20 years later? That was me. I don't know if you could waterboard this information out of me. Sometimes when I shake the Kleenex outside, the spider isn't in it. Oh my god, so you just fake pick up a spider and then just pretend like you got it? That one time when we went camping for 3 nights, I left the garden hose on at home full blast and we got a $700 water bill. At least that one sounds like a mistake, so you can maybe get a pass. That I chipped our wonderful granite quartz counter that he picked out and filled it with white putty. I will take this to my grave. How we really met. He thinks a mutual friend decided to play matchmaker, which is true, but not the full picture. A friend of mine sent screenshots of my significant other's dating app profile saying, "I've just found your future husband." Some light Googling led me to discover we shared a mutual friend. I spoke to him and he played matchmaker. 6 years later, I'm never telling him that I basically stalked him first. Probably for the best that doesn't come out, but I mean, also honesty is key or whatever. Every paycheck, I take out $25 to $30 in small bills and slip some bills into her pockets while I'm folding laundry. Money is tight, and it's the source of a lot of anxiety for her. So to see how excited/relieved she gets when she finds it makes me happy. Is it technically lying? Yes, it is, but it's lying for, to make make someone happy, I think that's probably okay. That I pooped in the ocean while snorkeling off of Hawaii. And that was the reason for all the beautiful fish swarming around us all of a sudden. Bon appetit, dear fish. Yes, indeed, it was magical. You know, we don't have to say everything that we think online. It's not necessarily a safe place, because now I know that you just in the ocean. I failed school. I had to take a basic education course before getting into uni, and that it took me 8 years to graduate from a 3-year degree. In all honesty, I would not consider that something you should hide. Life happens. Circumstances happen. You showed perseverance and determination. You should be very proud of yourself, and any partner worth having would feel the same. Kudos to you. I had a super embarrassing middle school obsessive crush on him when I first met him. I'm sure he would love to hear it. Guys like knowing people like them. That is true. I mean, as a guy myself, I can say I do like knowing when people like me. What is the first thing you always do when you come home? For me, it's take my shoes off and pet my dog, because that's like, what else am I gonna do? Put keys where keys live. Everybody has their own little spot where their keys get to live. Usually take a big sigh of relief that I'm back home again. Home again, jiggity jig. Look, I don't know every reference on Earth. I'm sorry. Say hi to my dogs. They leave me no choice. Catapult my bra as far away from me as possible. You know, I actually do this too. Change into my comfy clothes. Edit. I have never felt such solidarity with so many people until reading these comments. Comfy clothes, gang. I did recently find out it's better to instantly change out of your work clothes and into something more comfortable to be at the house. Otherwise, you'll just feel all day. Open the refrigerator to save checkpoint. Take off my shoes. See, now this person gets it. Take as many clothes off as I can, especially my bra. Sneak into my apartment and put up my work gear and sneak to the top of the steps without making a sound. I then will spot my dog laying on her bed at the foot of my bed. She likes laying there when I'm at work because she can see me as I walk up the steps. I try my best to not wake her and then silently lay on the floor next to her like I am asleep. I will keep one eye barely open and breathe on her heavily to see her excited reaction to waking up and finding me laying next to her. I pretend to gripe about her waking me up and then we go walkies. Afterwards, we both get something to eat while I play video games for an hour or two before we call it a night and go to bed. Check to make sure there isn't a serial killing clown hiding behind the shower curtain. Well, you know, it is best to be safe, I guess. I always say, "Hello, home," often followed up with, "Sorry I was gone for so long," or something like that. Then I greet my cat. I live alone, but this house was here before I got here. It's only polite to be nice to the structure that keeps me and my possessions safe and warm, you know? No, yeah, man, I totally get that. Sorta, not really. Cry. I just do that on the car ride home. More efficient that way. Nah, man, gotta do that on company time. No, they are onto something. You should be crying on company time, because why be sad and unpaid when you can be sad and be getting paid to do it? I get on the floor and walk the dinosaur. I'm sorry, you have a dinosaur in your home? What is your never interrupt an enemy while they are making a mistake moment? I was accused by a neighbor of reversing out my drive and hitting his car. He gave me the date and time I had allegedly done it and pointed to a small scrape on my car that supposedly matched perfectly the location of the dent on his. This was 7 weeks after the alleged event, by the way. I said it wasn't me, but told him to contact his insurance and we'd see what they said. A few weeks later, I get a letter from my insurance asking what had happened, to which I responded with the date I had bought my car and updated my insurance 2 weeks after the supposed bump. He never spoke to me again, but I used to give him a cheery wave every time I saw him glowering at his window. In a meeting with my project manager, who has not been in the office or worked a proper full day for months, she has increasingly been annoyed by people bypassing her to get things done by telling me and her other direct reports what to do. I was about to answer a question for stakeholders. She told me to let her speak one sentence and will let me have my bit. I did as I was told, and she told the stakeholder a completely wrong thing about the system we were handling and made a complete fool out of herself. She got sacked this month. Guy stole a presentation from me. This is 25 years ago. We hated each other. When he started presenting, I realized I had made a huge error. Didn't say anything. Let him get through it. Asked him about the error. He couldn't answer. This was in front of COO. Got fired. Not for just that. He was an overall douche. This was before everyone was on PCs, had one printer in one room. I let the lady who changed lanes into me run her mouth about how I rear-ended her before pulling the cop aside to show him my dash cam footage. Oh my god, I think that's the only reason I want a dash cam, is just for that little moment of, oh, you're gonna start lying? All right, check the cameras. When a coworker who I hated got fired a few weeks after I decided to stop fixing his mistakes, even if it impacted a client. I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Not my story, but several years ago, my older brother was fighting for custody of his son with his ex-wife. As the first custody hearing date approached, they were exchanging unpleasantries over text, and my brother ended up saying something along the lines of, "I'm not continuing this conversation. I will see you on the 15th. The ex-wife told him, "The hearing is on the 25th, dumbass." So, of course, instead of correcting her, my brother just allowed her to keep thinking it was the wrong date, and she missed the first hearing entirely. It became the first of many mistakes she made in the court system that eventually led to my brother and the woman who is now his second wife winning full custody of his son. She really made her bed by not knowing what the date was, so she can sleep. There's a thing in law enforcement / legalese called a spontaneous utterance. Many people will bury their cases with these while b***ing and moaning at their arresting officer on the way to jail. 10 years ago, I had a coworker everyone found pretty annoying. She was an idiot who thought she knew better than everyone else and would get offended at every opportunity. She took something I said the wrong way one day and got really upset, and I just didn't say anything. I would not indulge her insanity. So she quit, grabbed her stuff, and walked out on a job she had had for years. No one spoke a word to stop her. Well, all's well that ends well, you know? The loudest voice in the room is usually the dumbest. What an example of this you have seen. I mean, I could point to the fact that you have this big old typo, and technically, due to the format of this whole forum, you're the loudest voice in the room, so I kinda right here. Ever been to a family dinner? It does feel like Thanksgiving and any holiday gatherings with the family is just a contest to see who can say the dumbest thing first. When someone thinks that shouting in English at a person who does not speak English will help them understand more. Me. My roommates were looking for a PlayStation controller, and my stoned ass was loudly mocking them for not seeing it right in front of them. I thought it was effing hilarious they couldn't find the controller sitting right there on the couch. After a few minutes, I finally said, okay, it's right there on the couch, dummies. They looked at me so pissed and yelled, "We know about that one. Why do you think we keep saying the other controller? We need 2 controllers, stupid. How many do you see?" All in good fun, but man, I felt like a oh, ow, that one just hurts because it's your perspective. You thought you were gonna be all clever and smart, and then you just got shot down so bad. I work in loss prevention. I arrested a guy once who, when he was searched by police, had his taken, shouted, "Give me back my crystal," at the top of his lungs. So probably that. Or along similar lines, he who laughs last laughs best. But he may get a reputation for being a little slow on the uptake. My ex-husband. We couldn't discuss anything. His answer to every problem was just to scream over me until he got his way. Oh, so you were married to a 9-year-old. That's unfortunate. Finding out everyone on the internet is suddenly an expert in the operation, design, and recovery of deep submergence vehicles has certainly been an eye-opener. That's why the safe option is just never say anything. You can laugh and giggle to yourself, but once you post, everyone has a right to bully you. Sat next to a girl in high school algebra who went on a rant about how the moon was fake and man-made. Not the moon landing, the moon. It's okay. People will get smarter, right? They have to get smarter, right? When I wore a Nirvana shirt to work and this dude came up to me and said, I probably didn't know any Nirvana, yet it's my favorite band. That dude's still a bozo through and through, but maybe he was just trying the joke of, oh, you're wearing a band shirt, name 6 songs. Right effing here. Reddit, my dude. WTF are you talking about? It's okay, calm down. He has a point. The most upvoted comment on Reddit is what appeals most to the average person. So less most stupid and more most colloquial. What is a professional way to say, I have diarrhea? Honestly, just say it. What's your boss gonna do? Fire you for saying you have bad poop? I need to be near a friendly bathroom. I don't know about that one, because that could imply that you're used to angry bathrooms, and I don't know what that could mean. I'm ill. I have a stomach bug. Or if you want to be fancy, I'm currently having acute gastroenteritis. I had a shop manager tell me he was brewing up a pot of butt coffee once, so that's pretty professional. Oh my god, that's my new favorite. I'm gonna be insufferable saying that at work. If I bend over real fast, I could paint a UPS truck. Not the most professional, but the most to the point of what could happen. I have bum wee. My go-to is squirty bums. Y'all are gross. How are these professional ways of saying it? I tend to be straight up with it. After all, it's a most understandable excuse people tend to avoid asking further information about. I'm partial to digestively incapacitated. Relevant poem, unattributed. Here I sit, so broken-hearted. I tried to but only farted. Once I'd gained a second chance, I tried to fart and my pants. So beautiful. The back faucet is on, and this doth matter to me, kind sir. There's a big wet brown dog barking at the back door, if you know what I mean. Oh no. A sergeant in the army kept referring to it as a pit. I love that. It's simple, easy, you kinda understand what they're saying. Oh, mate, Fizzy Nesquik is just firing out me up. I'm not gonna make it today. Imagining this with a Scottish accent is just perfect. Not gonna lie, don't even know what that accent was, but I can't do a Scottish. I'm sorry. There's liquid lava coming out my tooter hole. Y'all are not trying to be professional anymore. You're just being silly. Nature has not been kind to me. See, it could be good, but it adds too much mystery. What did nature do? What's wrong? What happened? What success story is widely thought of as a rags to riches, but in reality, they were wealthy individuals all along? Didn't Kylie Jenner get an award for youngest self-made billionaire or something ridiculous when we all know she didn't do that herself? Not quite sure, don't really care, but probably. Drake, who grew up in a ghetto in Canada, yet could afford to play hockey as a kid, was on TV at 15 because of connections, and his first concert was at the opening for Ice Cube. Definitely didn't start from the bottom. Aubrey Drake Graham. Started from the bottom, now we're here. BS, bitch. You grew up in Forest Hill, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Toronto. My lord, the Drake hate is coming out. Ed Sheeran. There was even a false story he was homeless in his early career. No doubt pushed by his record label. Reality, he went to private school and has rich parents. For some time, Kylie Jenner was applauded for being the youngest self-made billionaire, even though she was born into a multi-millionaire family. Do keep in mind, for a lot of people, success is highly tied to your spawn point, so if you're born into the Jenners, then of course, yeah, you're gonna be a billionaire. Jeff Bezos was a hedge fund manager and VP at a banking firm before he founded Amazon. His grandparents were well-to-do energy politicians. No, but like, come on, you know Jeff? He was out there in the streets. He was struggling. Leave him alone. Bill Gates starting Microsoft in his garage. His mother was the child of a banker who was the child of a Federal Reserve's chairman. She was also on the board of IBM, University of Washington, a major bank, and United Way. His father was a lawyer. Kid Rock. Yeah, he cosplays as a poor boy who got rich. He's been trying to get into the rap game since Vanilla Ice. It took appealing to trailer trash to get him going anywhere. Trump used to claim that he got his start with a small loan of $100 million, but in fact, he was given over $400 million and a Manhattan real estate portfolio worth nearly $1 billion. If you ever hear a rich person talk about their humble beginnings, really question what that means, because to them, humble could be completely different. Cinderella. She never lost her wealth technically. She was already a high-class lady and was never poor. I'm glad someone pointed that fraud out. I'm not too up-to-date on my Cinderella lore, so I don't know how exactly this connects. Billie Eilish. People think she did it herself as a young teen, but her family has been in the industry for years. I had an moment when I learned that the lead singer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers' childhood babysitter was both Sonny and Cher. I guess I'm having my own moment here. What are some examples of an inventor getting killed by their own invention? Thomas Midgley Jr., a key contributor to leaded gasoline and the usage of CFC in refrigeration. After contracting polio, he created a system of pulleys and whatnot to help him get out of bed. He was found dead at age 55 after getting tangled in his device and being strangled by it. Not killed, but the founder of Match.com, Gary Kremen, lost his girlfriend to a man that she met on Match.com. Yeah, that one, every time I think about it, it hurts so bad. That Indian lad who was flight testing his own homemade helicopter. Part of the rotor sliced open his head. Yikes! Didn't want to learn that today, thanks. The Frenchman who tried to invent a parachute and died when he decided to prove his invention was okay by jumping off the Eiffel Tower. He ran multiple tests before that and they all went terribly. It was a calculated risk, but math was never his strong suit. Math was never his strong shoot. Knock it off, your mother. A man is dead. But that is really funny. I can't lie. Not the inventor, but rather the owner of the Segway, Jimmy Heselden, accidentally rode off a cliff on a Segway. Yeah, that's the one I was gonna say, because, that's so ironic. It hurts almost. The artist who made the blue horse at the Denver airport. Not an invention, but a creation. It is weird to think that Blucifer does have a kill count, and he's just sitting there next to an airport. The guy who invented Vaseline got obsessed with it. Thought it was a health miracle. Ate so much of it that he died. Sorry, ate Vaseline? Why? Titan sub recently happened. That it sure did. I'm pretty sure I heard a story that the CEO who was on the sub did fire the safety commissioner after he inspected it and said, yeah, this is not fit to travel. So, interesting stuff. This feels like a setup for the Titan sub. Frankenstein. Oh yeah, I guess his monster did kill him. How ironic that pop star Selena was murdered by the president of her fan club. I don't know if this really applies to this question, because I don't think Selena made her fan club, did she? Some a-hole killed himself and 4 others in a sub recently. That he did. That he did. What are some really dumb hobbies, mainly practiced by wealthy individuals? I feel like this question was asked just to get the Titanic sub as a response. I mean, you're not wrong for thinking that. Buying an expensive car and then keeping it in your garage without ever actually driving it. A waste of money, a waste of resources, just a waste in general. Why do it? Even though I enjoy the taste, collecting ultra expensive wine and not ever drinking it. Technically, it can be an investment, but if they never sell it, then it's not really an investment, IMHO. Shooting a giraffe. Like, bruh, it's just standing there next to the road. Same with elephants. They just stand there facing off to you and you just shoot them. Sounds like a waste of time. Yeah, a waste of time, a waste of life, because you just killed something for nothing. Shout out Jimmy John, collecting the same Rolex in different variations, and never wearing any because it's in a safe. I don't know so much if that's a hobby, more so like a tax thing that rich people do, because if you have physical assets, then you can't be taxed on it or something, I don't know. People that collect luxury clothing brands and shoes and then never wear them. Once again, waste of time, waste of resources, waste of money. Recording yourself giving crap to the poor. If you want to do a good deed, just do a good deed. Don't record yourself because then you're just looking for attention. Climbing Everest. Just remember, every dead body was once a highly motivated individual. 12-meter yacht racing. Like standing fully clothed in a cold shower and tearing up $100 bills. By the million. Challenging other wealthy individuals to cage match MMA fights. No, don't dog on these. I like watching rich people fight and hurt each other. Buying solid gold toilets and other items. Just get some gold leaf. Especially for a toilet, why would you want a gold toilet? Paying to go see the Titanic. Let's be honest, that's why this question was really asked. There are so many AskReddit threads baiting this answer, lol, and we thank you for it. Breeding and showing dogs, especially the tiny ones with the effed up noses and tiny heads where their brains don't even fit anymore. Yeah, that one does, it bums me out a lot. Talking down on poor people with things like, stop buying coffee and you'll be rich one day. I mean, let's be real, it is the coffee that's holding you back from becoming rich. Don't think about the rent and car insurance and health insurance and medical bills that you have to pay. It's the coffee for sure. What do you consider cheating in a relationship? My ex felt that me having a conversation about anything at all with anyone else was cheating, but her literally getting pounded by other men was okay. Oh, dog, no, you were just getting you were being manipulated for sure. Watching an episode alone of a show we started together. You know, I can kind of, well, maybe not cheating, but it's still not cool, you know? Being sentimentally or physically involved with someone else that isn't your partner. How dare you love your mom? My rule of thumb is if I wouldn't like it done to me, I shouldn't be doing it myself. I know that's vague, but leaves you to draw the line where you want. Not paying enough of the rent in Monopoly and using smile and cuddle to get away away with it. It is an effective strategy, I cannot lie. Doing anything sexual or romantic with someone else. Yeah, that feels like the baseline of what cheating is. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. I mean, if they put it in the game, is it really cheating? Pretty much breaking any agreed upon rules in your relationship. I was wondering how long it was going to take me to see this one, as I think that should be the most important one. Anything you do with another person you feel like you have to hide from me, I consider cheating. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. When the nipple makes its first appearance. Whose nipple are we talking about? Taking more french fries than agreed upon. That's a deal breaker. Wait, that's cheating? I don't know if you understand the question. I guess just stuff you would do with your partner. Right. Get dumped for breathing together. Nah, even if they blink together, it's over. What is a word/phrase that is so overused, it's lost its actual meaning? Unpopular opinion proceeds to say the most popular opinion you've ever read. GOAT. Apparently, everyone is the greatest of all time these days. And when everyone's super, no one will be. Syndrome, The Incredibles, 2004. Goated comment. POV. It just sucks because we've turned point of view into that moment when. It's not the same thing, but people think it is. Literally. Okay, literally, how many people actually say literally when they're literally meaning something? Mid. Mid means that something is middle of the road. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just unremarkable. For some effing reason, it's synonymous with bad now. Oh, well, if it's not good and great and awesome, then it just sucks. Gaslighting. It's being used for anything now. Okay, somebody in the comments, have you seen this word anywhere? I think they just made it up. I don't believe I've ever heard of gaslighting before. Toxic. Everyone is toxic. Context doesn't exist, and they're also definitely a bipolar narcissist. And no, I will not be fact-checking. I'll just believe the first post I see.
Aesthetic.
I heard an influencer say, this restaurant is so aesthetic. What the F does that even mean? I think ADHD is probably up there. Seems like everybody with any kind of life quirk or forgets their keys thinks they have it. Yeah, ADHD is not a cute little quirky thing. It sucks. LOL. Sadly, I am poisoned with saying LOL at the end of most sentences I type. It is fascinating how LOL has evolved over time because originally it was laugh out loud and now it's just synonymous with laughing in general. Narcissist. It does suck that this one's kind of gotten muddied because it is a useful thing to know about a person. Cope. People literally just say this after you've reached a logical wall and refuse to admit that they were wrong. What is one lie everyone tells? Oh, wow, yeah, I'll definitely have to watch that show you recommended. Thanks! Sorry I've missed your call. No, I'm not. I was looking at the phone when it started ringing and chose to ignore it. It was nice talking to you. After being bored. I'm sorry. I have other plans that night. 9 out of 10 times I am a liar. I'll quit insert bad habit tomorrow. Okay, no need to call me out. I'm gonna stop breathing tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll call you back. Huh, it's like the last thing my dad said to me. I've read the terms and conditions. Yep, figured this one would be in here. We all know it's a lie. We're all guilty. I don't judge. They're probably the most evil person you've ever met. Just ignore them. They'll give up and leave you alone. Don't worry about it. Oh, thanks for saying that. I'm gonna continue to worry about it, like a lot. I'm almost there. Shows up 20 minutes later. What rare statistic are you a part of? I'm an identical twin, which by itself isn't rare, but we are bookends. I'm a righty and he's a lefty. Huh, I didn't know there was a term for that. I was born on the same date as another guy of the same name, and his mom had the same name as my mom. So the Social Security Department issued us both the same Social Security number. It took 18 years to figure out the mistake when I was denied a student loan because the other guy applied first. Also, his tax returns got denied for a while because I always submitted mine first. My hair started going gray at 13. By the time I was 23, it was completely white. That could be a blessing in disguise because being a 23-year-old with stark white hair, that would be kind of cool, right? Myself and my dad both have/had 3 sets of teeth. Baby teeth and then 2 sets of adult teeth. Oh, ew. Sorry, that's probably rude. Match.com told me I'm in the 1% of the population of people they can't match a partner to. Awesomeness! Born with extra pinky and no wisdom teeth. You know what they say about people without wisdom teeth, right? I don't. Well, those were definitely something. But I do gotta get out of here. I have to go perform a surgery real quick. Thank you all once again for watching. My name is Brandon and I will say things at you later. Bye!